There's a rowing scene set in England that's so beautifully shot, it feels like a painting come to life. Cronenweth and Fincher make even a simple conversation feel cinematic. And let's not forget the soundtrack by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross of Nine Inch Nails. Their score is haunting, electronic, and perfectly matches the film's vibe. Tracks like Hand Covers Bruise and In Motion are unforgettable, setting the tone for this modern tragedy. The score won an Oscar for Best Original Score, and Reznor and Ross released a 5-track EP for free before the full soundtrack dropped on September 28, 2010. If you love music that pulls you into a story, this is for you. The film's editing by Angus Wall and Kirk Baxter is another standout. It won an Oscar for Best Film Editing because it keeps the story moving at a breakneck pace. The movie jumps between different timelines, classrooms, courtrooms, and late-night coding sessions without ever feeling confusing. It's like a puzzle that snaps together perfectly by the end. So, what's the story about? Without giving anything away, The Social Network follows a young Harvard student who creates a website that changes the world. It's set between 2003 and 2005, mostly in Massachusetts and California, and it dives into the messy, thrilling process of building something revolutionary. You'll see friendships tested, rivalries ignited, and big ideas come to life. It's a story about ambition, loyalty, and the price of getting to the top. The film is framed through legal battles, but it's not a courtroom drama. It's a character-driven story that feels like a tech thriller. Why should you care? Because this movie isn't just about a website, it's about the world we live in today. It captures the energy of the early 2000s, when the internet was still a wild frontier, and it asks big questions about success and sacrifice. It's a film that feels as relevant now as it did when it hit theaters on October 1, 2010 at the New York Film Festival, before going wide in 2,771 theaters. The box office? The Social Network grossed $224 million worldwide, a massive success for a $40 million film. It was a cultural phenomenon, landing on over 70 critics' top 10 list for 2010, with 22 calling it the year's best film. It swept the Big Four Critics Awards, National Board of Review, New York Film Critics Circle, Los Angeles Film Critics Association, and National Society of Film Critics, joining the ranks of Schindler's List and LA Confidential. At the 83rd Academy Awards, it scored 8 nominations, including Best Picture, and won 3. It also took home 4 Golden Globes, including Best Motion Picture, Drama. Behind-the-scenes trivia? Oh, there's plenty. Did you know Natalie Portman, a Harvard grad, gave Sorkin insider tips about campus life? Her influence is in the script, and there's a subtle nod to her as a movie star on campus. The rowing scenes used real rowers from Harvard, Northeastern, and other schools, coached by experts to look authentic. And that famous poster with the tagline, "You don't get to 500 million friends without making a few enemies"? It originally said 300 million, but they updated it when Facebook hit 500 million users. There's even a Fight Club Easter egg. Look for the name Tyler Durden on a Facebook profile in one scene. Fincher loves sneaking in these little winks. And while the film is based on real events, it's not a documentary. Some details were dramatized for storytelling, which sparked debate, but that doesn't take away from its power. It's a fictionalized take that feels real, thanks to the airtight script and performances. For parents, a quick heads up. The movie is rated PG-13 for some intense language, drinking, drug use, and suggestive scenes. There's no graphic violence or sex, but the themes, like betrayal and ruthless ambition, might hit harder for older teens and adults. It's a great conversation starter about ethics and success. The DVD and Blu-ray, released on January 11, 2011, are packed with extras. Commentaries by Fincher and Sorkin, a documentary called How Did They Ever Make a Movie of Facebook, and featurettes on the score, editing, and visuals. It sold $13.5 million in its first week, topping the charts. So why should you watch The Social Network? Because it's a cinematic masterpiece that turns a story about coding into a thrilling saga of power and loss. It's got a killer cast, a genius director, and a script that crackles with energy. It's a film that defined a generation like The Breakfast Club or Clerks, but for the digital age. Whether you're into tech, drama, or just great storytelling, this movie delivers. It's 120 minutes of pure intensity with a vibe that's both timeless and totally 2000s.